Good evening. It's Saturday, the 3rd of December, and it's time for the news on RIK 2. Nicosia has confirmed that French President François Hollande will pay a visit to Cyprus on December the 9th. Government spokesman Nikos Christodoulides in a Twitter post said the French president will be in Cyprus on December the 9th. Earlier today, the office of Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras said after his talks with the French president in Abu Dhabi that the two leaders also welcomed a decision to resume talks on reuniting the divided island next month, and that Hollande was expected to visit the island. In the latest round of UN-brokered talks in Montpellier, Switzerland, President Nikos Anastasiades and Turkish Cypriot leader Mustafa Kemal failed to strike a deal. But after a UN-hosted 4-hour-long dinner in Nicosia on Thursday, the two leaders agreed to meet again in Geneva on January the 9th. And for a conference on Cyprus with the participation of the divided island's guarantors, Greece, Turkey and Britain, to take place on January the 12th, focusing on the thorny issue of security and guarantees. Cyprus is divided since 1974, following an invasion by Turkey which still maintains 42,000 troops in the breakaway north. New UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and his team have been extensively informed on the Cyprus problem. This is what the spokesman for the current UN chief Ban Ki-moon today said, adding that it was too early to tell whether Guterres will participate in the upcoming Cyprus talks in Geneva in January. What the spokesman could tell was that from the current Secretary-General's side, his team there had extensive briefings on all issues, and obviously those political issues which are at a crucial, delicate point, as the Cyprus issue is. The spokesman also said that Ban was determined to ensure that no ball was dropped during the transition. But he also was unable to confirm whether UN Special Advisor Espan Barth-Eider would continue to be part of the negotiations. A 32-year-old man from Bulgaria died in a car accident early this morning on the Leobedri-Xylofau road. Police said the car he was driving veered off the road and overturned under circumstances not yet known, and that a fire was sparked which gutted the car. The driver, who was a father of two and lived in Baralimni, was burnt to death. Islamic State has moved several dozen operatives into Europe to carry out terrorist attacks, and the United Kingdom remains high on the target list for aggression. This is what the continent's law enforcement agency said in a report today, following an earlier warning that the terror group was determined to continue attacks against EU members, and that it could deploy methods that have been successful in Syria and Iraq, including car bombs, extortion and kidnappings. Its report also said it was possible that ISIS would try and use chemical and biological weapons, and that it had access to Iraqi and Libyan storage sites of chemical weapons. Europol's report, outlining the changing modus operandi of the terror group, warned that more foreign fighters would return to the EU. Greek President Prokopis Pavlopoulos has said that he's determined to counter each and every provocation by Turkey. The statement came after Greece's rhetoric with regard to Greece's sovereignty over islets in the eastern Aegean is escalating, and shortly after Ankara issued a notice to airmen, ostensibly denying Greece the right to conduct military manoeuvres off 11 Greek islands, including Lesbos, Chios, Samos and Kastellorizo. The notices relate to eastern Aegean areas used by the Hellenic armed forces for exercises which Ankara provocatively claims are demilitarized zones. After Russia today said it was ready for talks with the United States on the withdrawal of all rebels from the area, Syrian rebel commanders in Aleppo said they will not surrender eastern Aleppo to government forces. At the same time, the UN envoy for Syria said he hopes some type of formula could be found to avoid a terrible battle in Aleppo. Syrian government forces have captured 60% of the area previously held by rebels in eastern Aleppo after gaining new ground on the city's eastern edge. The observatory and a Syrian military source said the army had built on its gains by capturing the Tariq al-Bab district last night. And a Turkey-based official with one of the rebel groups in Aleppo said government forces had advanced in the area, but rebels were repelling them. Meanwhile, European Union Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini said she was convinced the fall of rebel-held areas of Aleppo to the government would not end the war in Syria. And now a look at tomorrow's weather. It will be fine with cloud cover at times, possibly leading to isolated showers. Winds will be light to moderate, southwesterly to westerly, force 3 to 4, over slight to moderate seas. Temperatures will reach 19 Celsius inland, 20 in coastal areas, and 9 over the mountains. Temperatures will drop slightly during the next couple of days. The fire hazard is high in all forest areas. That's all for today. Join us tomorrow again for more news in English. Have a very good evening.